Life is short. You don't get to hit the rewind button, so how you spend your time matters a lot. I want to share about spending your time wisely, intentionally, and joyfully. When was the last time you've been to a funeral and you're sitting there in the funeral and you're listening to the person's eulogy or the tributes of what each person has to say about the person that's lying there lifeless in the coffin? Think about it. I can recall reading the book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And this was my wake up call of truly saying, life is short. Am I living it wisely, intentionally, or joyfully? When I read that book, the question asked in the first chapter was this very similar scenario. The author said in the first chapter, imagine yourself attending a funeral and you're sitting in the back and you're listening to the eulogy. But that funeral is your funeral. How would you feel about your eulogy? Would you be thinking that you have done enough? Or are there some things that you could have done differently? Or you wish you had had more time? Do you think you are spending your time wisely currently at the moment? Life is short. People are dying around us every day, whether it's from a chronic illness, whether it's from a sudden incident. People are dying around us daily from different causes, chronic illnesses, sudden deaths, name it. Our friends and our families are dying. We do not know the minute or the hour when our life will be taken, when we will take that last breath. We may wake up in our homes happy with our family. We go out to work, and some of us will never make it back home. How are you spending your life right now, this moment? How are you spending it? Let's talk about it. Money can be made again, but you know what? Time can't. And many of us waste it scrolling mindlessly. As I mentioned in this last video here, or you're wasting your evenings and how to stop wasting your evenings, while some of us are staying in toxic relationships, some of us are saying yes to things that are draining us. One day, you will realize that you've spent your day surviving rather than living. But let's change that. Throughout the years, I've done like all the things. Started my career in nursing, relocating here to Canada as a single mom, starting life all over, creating the family, working as a nurse, just doing all the things, going, trying to achieve the things in life that they said we should, getting that career, building the family, buying that car, that house. But then it came a point in time where I felt that I was living on autopilot, where I felt like, is this it? You're having the house, the car, the family, and you're living in that routine, that job, and you're like, Lord, is this it? Is it the life that we have created? Is this now that we're here achieving all the things, doing all the things, society say we should? Now what? Like, what's next? And that's where I came stuck in life, asking, like, what's next? Am I going to be spending the next 20 years doing this routine, getting up Monday every morning, going to work, taking care of the family? Like, I think there was more to life. And that's when I came into this purpose searching season of like, what's next? And that's when the light bulb hit. After reading that book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, I sat down and I visualized how I want the ending of my life to be. How do I want my eulogy to sound after I pass? What are the things that I'm going to do differently to portray a happier, a more intentional, spending my time wisely, living a more purposeful, fulfilled life. And that's when the thought came upon me like, Yashika, each one of us have a gift, each one of us have a purpose, each one of us have an assignment. And at that time I realized that my assignment, now that I've reached a certain journey of success in life, my next level of success will be to helping others, going back to where I was, helping others that were in my shoe, right? So you need to reflect. Ask yourself, what is your purpose now in life? How can you live a more purposeful and fulfilled life? Are you being obedient to the calling that God has been calling you to, that assignment? A lot of us, we sit and we pray and we ask for guidance, we ask for direction, and we ask God for things, especially if you're a woman of faith. You have your prayer closet, you have your prayer journals, and you're praying and you ask and you're asking for things. But at the same time, you're not being intentional and you're not asking yourself, how can I use my story, your story? How can you use your testimony? How can you use your gift to bless somebody else? A lot of you people, yes, you sis, have been watching this video. I'm sure that you have been through a certain situation. You have been in a bad relationship, a toxic relationship, maybe a toxic marriage. You have restarted, you have divorced. You have been through something. You have a story to share. And you know God has been calling you to share that testimony, to use that gift that he has given you. It might not be going on the stage, participating in the church, going up on the pulpit, singing or preaching. A lot of us gifts are not in the church. We have spiritual gifts. You need to go and find your spiritual gift, and then you need to learn how to use those spiritual gifts. You need to be aware of the calling that God is calling you to do that assignment, and you need to be obedient and answer that call. What is that call? I don't know, but you know. You know what God has been tugging you to do, whether it's to start that business, whether it's to go back and form a community, whether it's to start a coaching or a mentorship group for other women who you are now sitting at the table and you can go back and help those women that are going through what you have been through. You know, the birth of this YouTube channel was started from my book, What to Expect When Moving to Canada. And that's how I started sharing my journey and sharing my story, because I realized that it has been like over 10 years since I've migrated to Canada as a single mom. There are different people who are looking to do the similar journey that I've taken. And I shared my personal roadmap, I call it, in my book that I wrote, What to Expect When Moving to Canada. You might have a story that you can write a book about to help somebody, to guide them through that. You maybe can start a YouTube channel to motivate, to educate, to entertain, whatever your special gift or calling or assignment is. If you're not that person who wants to come on the social media showing your face, you can create different ways of doing these same things, but you have to decide how you're going to live your life and how you want your life to be at the end of it all. If this video is making any sense right now, I want you to comment below, make sense. And you're going to commit to making some changes in your life, because you can admit that life is short. There's no guarantee that some of us are even going to live to see next month. That some of us are even going to see another Christmas with our family. So, what are some of the things that you can start doing now to stop wasting your time, for your life to be a reflection, and for your life to be purposeful, and for you to live a joyful, happier, healthier life? Now, let's look at some ways of how you can start spending your time wisely. And the first step is audit your time and energy. Think about it. What are the things that are draining you? sucking your energy rather than fulfilling you or refueling you. This can be places, this can be situations, and these can even be people. Yes, the people around us reflects who we are. Your circle have a lot to do with you, your output. So you need to take an audit of your energy, your surrounding, your environment, your friends, your families, even families. Yes, we love them, but sometimes we have to know how to distance ourselves from them at times. Yes, I'm saying it. Sometimes we have to distance ourselves from families. Sometimes we have to let go of certain friendships and certain relationships, right? Sometimes we have to just restart our life. We have to reassess our circle and we have to move on. Some people come in our lives for a reason and a season. You have to be aware and you have to acknowledge the fact. Life is short. Do you want to spend your time being drained by people who always sucks from you like leeches and they're never replenishing, they're not a ray of sunlight, they're not refueling you, they're not giving you life, but they're pulling life and sucking energy from you. Can you relate to some of those people? Comment yes. Let me know in the comments. Next thing I want you to do is to create boundaries like your peace depends on it, because guess what? It does. You have to learn how to protect your mental health, especially if you're in mid-age, you're entering 40s like myself. Peace is like a necessity right now in this day and age, in this era that we're in. We crave peace more than anything else. So again, as I just mentioned, if you have family, you have friends, you have circles, you have work, you have careers that you realize are sucking the peace from you, you need to do that assessment and you need to create boundaries. Boundaries from your families, boundaries for work, boundaries for your career. There are some careers that are mentally draining. And as a result, I can just relate. I like to share my personal stories. As I've been a mental health nurse for the past 20 years, which is a very rewarding career, but it can be a very mentally exhausting career as well. Now, I took upon myself to say that I'm transitioning, I'm going into another career, real estate. As you know, I'm also a realtor. And can I tell you, when I started this real estate journey, I was like, oh man, I did not realize that this career was as mentally draining or even worse than being a mental health nurse, to be honest. And now I'm doing some reassessment to see, okay, do I still want to do both careers that are really exhausting, or what will I do in the future? So that's something that I've been assessing and I'm sort of dealing with mentally, because throughout with it all, I choose peace in everything. Family, career, life, relationships. I'm choosing peace. You should too. Number 3, I want you to pursue purpose over pressure. Sometimes we feel pressure to do things because of society, because of culture, because of family traditions. We feel like we have to do it. And I'm here to tell you that you don't. If it's not feeling purposeful, say no. And it is okay to say no. No is a complete sentence. Remember, we're choosing peace over everything because life is too short. And before we go on to the next step, I am inviting you to subscribe to this channel, because on this channel, we're creating a happier, healthier life. We're restarting, we're resetting, and we're thriving to live a more fulfilling life over here on this channel. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell so you see when the next video drops. Next thing I want you to do is schedule joy, not just work. You need to pause and you need to stop and you need to just put down everything sometime and you need to just say, this is fun time. This is a time where I'm going to create joy. The hustle culture, especially here now in these social media streets, the culture is go, 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 go. I moved from the Caribbean, from Jamaica to Canada, and the culture is just a go, 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 work, work, work. Us Caribbean, African Caribbean people, we're from a more laid back, sometimes too laid back, to be honest. We're from a more laid back culture, right? So we need to put back some of that culture into our daily life. We need to schedule joy, schedule fun, schedule family. Put a pause and visit rest stops on your journey of success, and life will be so much better. Lastly, I want you to invest time in what compounds. This might include relationship, your faith, your health, and your skills. What compounds, what you can ripple effect on. So invest time in these things. Don't just invest time in mindfully scrolling TikTok. Yes, this can be fun because sometimes in my relaxing zone, I'll be watching TikTok because you can learn so much from TikTok. And I find TikTok to be very entertaining because I like to laugh and I like to have fun. I like to live a joyful life. But you have to be intentional and you have to choose. What are the compounding things that you can invest in your life? Let me know in the comments below. You have the power to reclaim your time. You have the power to say no unapologetically. Choose things that lights you up. Life is not just about goals, it's about grace, growth, and being fully alive. You don't have forever, sis, but you have today. If this video hit your soul, let me know in the comments one way or you will be spending your time wisely. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with a sister who you know needs a little bit of motivation of living a more intentional, joyful life. See you in the next video. Bye for now.